Who are you? What's your role? And where do you work?
So my name is Michael Wells. I'm with Dell Technologies. I'm an engineering technologist. I'm on the product team for the Dell Apex Cloud Platform for Red Hat OpenShift. And I work remotely living in upstate New York.
What are 3 emerging Kubernetes tools that you're keeping an eye on?
So a lot of interest in virtualization, KubeVirt these days. And of course, always keeping an eye on tools for things like observability and things that can improve high availability and disaster recovery features.
One of our podcast guests, Matthias, on the subject of bare metal, he believes that on-premise deployments require proper education and attention, especially regarding managing on-prem architecture versus cloud architecture. After spending a few months building an on-prem Kubernetes cluster, he shared this advice. What's your experience with bare metal clusters? And how does that differ from using Kubernetes in the cloud? What would you have liked to know before starting Kubernetes on bare metal?
So it is absolutely can be challenging to when you start bringing in bare metal compared to traditional hyperscaler infrastructures, right? A lot of that is abstracted away from you. You don't have to think about it, but you still have to think about those things when you're on-prem. Which is one of the reasons why we created this product specifically for running OpenShift on bare metal on premises. Right? So we've actually elevated the infrastructure management directly into the OpenShift web console and provide full stack lifecycle management. So managing the OpenShift version also includes managing all of the ACP Manager software as well as the firmware updates for the hardware itself. So we greatly simplify the process of day 2 operations, things like expansion of the cluster, adding and removing nodes, and give you that health visibility directly in the OpenShift web console.
On the subject of high availability, pod topology spread constraints. Our podcast guest Martin suggested avoiding pod topology spread constraints, as this is a Kubernetes feature that is simple to understand but has problematic consequences if not understood correctly. Do you have similar examples of something in Kubernetes that looked easy but was an absolute nightmare?
There are a number of things that pod disruption budgets can be one where it can affect the ability to bring down nodes for configuration changes and things like that. So just making sure that the technologies are understood and implemented properly. There's a lot of features in there that are really beneficial. You want to make sure you're using them correctly and not shooting yourself in the foot.
Databases on Kubernetes. Our guest, Steven, shared that you can and should run a database on Kubernetes. The tooling and practices have matured since Kubernetes began, and you should run stateful applications there. What's your experience and advice with running stateful applications in Kubernetes?
Absolutely, I agree with that statement. Initially, when containers first started becoming popular, it was not a good place for running stateful applications. But as Kubernetes has matured over time, we have the constructs around persistent volumes. There's absolutely no reason why you shouldn't run database platforms on top of Kubernetes, and you can get significant benefits both in reducing the overhead of those platforms as well as the speed of expansion, right? Cloud-based database topologies where you can expand those by scaling up very quickly. It allows you to take advantage of those. Like anything, it's a change, so you need to adapt how you deal with those, how you architect the databases themselves, but there's absolutely a significant benefit to doing it this way.
Kubernetes turned 10 years old this year. What should we expect in the next 10 years to come?
In the next 10 years, continued enhancements, new feature sets. The innovation has not slowed, it has sped up. So as we see greater adoption of containerization, you're going to continue to see new features and capabilities inside Kubernetes. One of the things that I love about KubeVirt is that their opinion is if this benefits the platform, they're going to make the change in Kubernetes, not in KubeVirt. So you have additional projects that are driving further innovation in the Kubernetes platform and adding new capabilities, not just those people running containers. So you're going to continue to see that over time, and I'm really excited about the next 10 years.
What's next for you?
It's a world that's constantly changing. There's so much to know and understand. I'm looking forward to the recordings of this event so that I can get to all those sessions that I wasn't able to attend in person.
How can people get in touch with you?
To get in touch with me, michael.wellsjr@dell.com, or if you have any questions about the Apex Cloud Platform for Red Hat OpenShift, please reach out to your local Dell rep or dell.com.
you.